All right, welcome back to the Watch Along Gang. We're all here. This is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, we've been waiting for this
Spider-Man!
forever. It feels
you
like.
guys look really excited right now. It's like after work, everybody's like,
well, it is. It's true. It's been a long day.
Everyone's already
and
seen the trailer.
I've not watched it. I've
haven't watched
restrained
it.
myself. So
I haven't watched it either.
I thought we had all agreed not to watch it.
Well, we didn't.
But it came out last night at like 9, and I.
You know what's annoying is I kept seeing leaks of it last night. I didn't watch them, but they kept popping up. I'm like, man, guys, just wait till the real one comes out. You don't have to be the first.
We do. Have
I guess
to be
they're
the
like, we
first.
made $100,000 being the first. Like, well,
Yeah.
you have to be the first. But
You have 8 subscribers. Shut up. Like, okay,
I'll
fair,
refrain from what
fair
my daughter
point.
gets to know with me when we watch stuff, and I've seen it before. She's always just like, watch this part. Oh, here it comes. Watch this. I won't do that. I'll shut up while we watch this.
it's just one of those, like, I'd rather see it in real good quality than like a cam kind of weirdness. But some people
course.
just
I
real excited.
Honestly,
Can't wait.
it lives as something that I don't get to see trailers in the theater anymore. But even if you could go to the movies, you probably wouldn't be able to do that because trailers drop like albums now. It's like, oh, we got to watch it right this second and talk about
Well,
it.
and this
true.
one, I think the one that leaked too was one that didn't have like finished effects. I haven't seen the leaked one, but it didn't have finished effects and stuff, and it had like a guy's name plastered. Whoever the guy is fired, by the way, too.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
More than fired. He's
There's
buried
a whole
under
reason we
Disneyland.
put that name there.
I mean, yeah, you're totally
They
right though. Too.
tombed him in a statue of
You
Walt,
couldn't
of
crop
Walt
that
Disney
out
somewhere.
to save that guy some trouble.
Yeah, it's across
That's
the whole thing. I
mean.
saw the screenshot of it, and it's like across the entire. Also, yeah, I guess this idea was
Worth
it's supposed to play in front of Shang-Chi, which opens like next week. So it's like, yeah, that I do miss those days of just going to the movies to watch.
It was cool when you didn't
And
know
saying,
it was coming.
I
You just
didn't
go to
know
a
this
movie and then
movie
you're like,
was
what,
coming
what
out.
is this?
We're too-
Lucasfilm. What?
We're way
Like,
too
that's like, what is
tuned in now. We're like, you'd see a trailer back in the day, and like, I'll have to see that movie because that's the first you ever heard of it.
We were
Way
tuned in
too
back in the day.
tuned
Remember,
into it
everybody
now.
went to go see Meet Joe Black because that's the Phantom Menace trailer was on it.
Yep, yep.
And
I
everybody
didn't do that, but a lot of people
Walked
did.
out
I
of it.
saw Scary Movie 2 because the Highlander 4 trailer was on.
4.
They have a Highlander 4.
That's like the
Well, at least
weirdest
Scary Movie
thing you
2
could
is
say.
not
Like,
the worst movie, I guess.
no, it was fun, but I literally went to see it because
That was a theatrical release. Highlander 4.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
trailer-
remember Highlander.
I don't
4.
Yeah,
remember
it
when
was
past the
the
second
it
one.
was the last theatrical release.
No, okay.
Okay, well,
Highlander
all
4, by the way, indie game.
right. Let's get on to
Being the name
Spider-Man.
of that.
Something not bad. Oh, there
The-
we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's
So it
watch
starts
Space.
with them like standing. Oh, you're in the middle of it.
You're
No,
spoiling
I'm not
already.
in the middle of it. I'm not in the middle of it.
Spoiling
That's-
already.
Is that the beginning? The first shot?
Well, they do these little. They
Now
do
I know
like the,
Spider-Man's in it.
I just want to make sure I have sound on this, just in case I didn't have sound on. No, they do the little pre-trailer thing nowadays.
What,
You know what I mean?
What that means?
Where they do like
That's
little
like
clips of it
The
before it
YouTube
starts the
thing where they
real
have
trailer.
to tease something to make you keep watching it, even though it's a
Snooze
straight
out
A
in the first
trailer
4
for the
seconds.
trailer before the
I
trailer.
love
But also for
the
the-
short attention span of it.
But also for this movie, I understand if it's like the Mummy 4 you're doing. It's like, why am I watching this?
Yeah,
but this
but-
is like everybody wants to watch this movie.
but if
We're
I
all
turn
gonna
this
watch
on in
this
the first
trailer.
2 seconds, it didn't have Spider-Man. I'd be like, whatever. Spider-Man's not in that new movie. I
Is
don't
that
like it.
Mary Jane?
Yeah,
I,
MJ.
have,
Okay.
I used to have those shoes. If
Not
they're
Mary
gray,
Jane.
those little gray Converse.
Those look like Chuck Taylors. Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
have a pair of Chucks like that, and it had a Superman symbol in the back.
Mine were gray, just like that.
And Virgil ate them.
Well, you
All
do
right,
what you gotta
ready?
do. Let's go.
Here we go. Far from home.
Okay, so some Doctor Strange
This
already.
is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Nice.
Yes, my spider lord.
She's like, this explains a lot, actually.
It is so
Boy, I'm
crazy
with you.
down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did
Just
not kill
immediately
Mysterio.
public
The
enemy.
drones did.
The drones that are yours.
Why is he in trouble,
feel
though?
relieved about all this?
What do
For
you
the
mean?
drones.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to
Well, I
hide
like-
or lie
He's a
to
responsible
people.
young man. He just
For the
turned
record, I
himself in.
never wanted to lie to you. But how do you
Yeah.
tell
It
It
someone?
looks like he
Parker's
got
always
caught
a
right
good
here,
one.
though.
He's Spider-Man.
Now everybody
You
knows.
keep your helicopters.
But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond
I like
you
his
calling me
coat.
sir.
Okay.
What's up
Sort
with
of
his
hoodie.
house?
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Oh, a Mephisto deal.
Don't cast that spell.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
Well, we're actually
Fine.
going to change the timeline again after
Right.
all that talk.
And that's what breaks the multiverse? Come on, Doctor.
Well, we don't know yet. Hold
Who's
on,
about
let's
to
watch.
forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait,
So they're
everyone?
just going to forget.
Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
You can tell
So
MJ
MJ's gonna
again.
forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my god, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know.
Stop talking.
I blame Doctor Strange. That kid's like 15. He doesn't know any
Just
better.
happened?
Yeah. Here we
You
go.
tampered with the stability of space-time.
Just inception the whole world. That's what
Multiverse is a
happened.
concept about which we
Oh,
know
that is true.
frighteningly little. The problem is you
that's cool.
trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
When we gave up secret identities in the MCU.
Oh,
that?
so we have the Hobgoblin in here?
Be careful what
I'm
you wish
guessing it's
for,
probably the
Parker.
Green
Or is it
Goblin.
the Green Goblin?
Watch.
Octopus.
Yeah, we knew he was going to be here. That's awesome.
Hello, Peter.
Huh? Who are you?
Yeah, that's nothing Peter he
Where's Daredevil?
knows. Okay.
No.
Oh,
Well,
there's more.
there was. Well, here we go.
there
We'll go through this a little bit. I'll turn the sound down.
Oh, okay, I thought
So many people are saying
looking
that's
thing.
him, Charlie Cox, right there. Because
hard to
as
say.
his lawyer, he does look a little different, but it could be. You never know. It could come in.
I like
as
the
his
guy
lawyer.
slams his fist down on the table. He's like, I'm Spider-Man. Cool your jets.
But the interesting things
Oh,
to
I'm
watch.
Daredevil, dude.
Oh,
well,
'cause I
it is
didn't
funny
notice-
because he's got those devil horns in the poster that they're holding up.
what's interesting here is like they're making it like Peter messed this up, but it could be like that time branching thing happened while they were doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh, the
Like,
King
that
thing?
yeah, it could be all sorts of things that
Yeah.
happen here.
With the spell.
Oh my god, Ned.
It's like
Because
all
it
anybody's
kinda
been
looks
doing
like-
is breaking the multiverse ever since this new
Well,
phase
it looks like well, this
started.
all looks like the Doctor Strange, crazy, but it also looks like the Citadel kind of stuff too. You know what I mean from Loki. So it's like you never know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that stuff does.
That's cool. I love it because that's where things went wrong in the comic, where he made that deal with the devil to
Mephisto,
make
yeah.
everybody forget.
Everyone hated that storyline, though.
Because
I
it was a
think.
stupid storyline, but I still
never
like
read
that
that.
they're sort of mining that
But see-
same idea here.
Well, this is stuff we haven't noticed. There's electricity, also there's electro, but all this there's like several places where there's like dirt and sand like this that could be
Oh,
Sandman. It's like
Sandman.
not just normal dirt. This is like a lot of
Yeah.
like you
They're
know.
supposed to bring Rhino back and all these other guys.
I don't know if they're gonna bring Rhino
See
back.
Rhino.
But-
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the
But-
reveal that the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man somehow.
Well, there's
involved.
two things. There's one thing I didn't notice at all until I watched the
Two different lives.
Rockstar thing. Watch. They're theorizing that this little thing is like they're collecting these villains into like some sort of time prison or something like that. I have no idea.
That's
why they're-
horrible.
Like
Why
a
would they
ghost
do
trap.
that?
Yeah,
I know
it's
they're
like
villains, but-
it's literally like a extra trap.
What's that around his neck? Because he doesn't have the thing of Agamotto anymore.
Well, that's gone, right?
Yeah,
Well,
what's
that's
he
the-
wearing?
That's the Eye of Agamotto, but it's
It's
not
just
in
a
there, right?
medallion.
He just has some other magic hoodad that he wears around.
That's the
his neck.
same holder that used to be, but
It's just the holder because it looks cool, man.
yeah.
He's just,
It,
it's all-
it ties
it's
the
all
whole
about the
outfit
bling.
together.
They're
The
saying
wife's
that
happy
right
in it.
there. When they slow this down, that's a lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man
Oh,
that hits
that's
this
cool.
barrier wall. It's like a big lizard-like creature. So I was like, that's
So
kind of.
we just saw Happy. That's his name, right?
Again, there's like the
He's in there
electricity
too, I
and all that
guess.
shit.
Even though Iron
He also
Man's
looks like
not
he's wearing a
because of
black
the
suit here too.
Yeah, it kind of.
And that one scene he's running through that cafeteria.
all this business and we still can't get Venom.
But see, there you go. You can hear Willem
How
Dafoe
much
right
do we
there.
have to break the universe to get this?
So it's actually going to be Willem Dafoe.
You can hear him laughing. So I don't. I mean,
fun
I-
if it was. Yeah, who knows?
Be careful.
I mean,
Wish for, Parker.
and so he's met. Yeah, and this is all aged young. He looks better than he did in the movie here. He wasn't that
I
thin
actually
in that
thought
movie.
that Dr. Octopus was really cool in that first movie. I thought.
Yeah, I like.
A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't like that movie, but I thought he was cool.
I don't know, who doesn't like that movie? When it came out, people loved that movie. Everyone's like, "That's the best superhero movie in the world." Which
What'd you guys
probably
think?
true back then.
I think
Fun.
it's fun.
I'm super psyched. It's Spider-Man. Okay, I can't wait to see.
I mean,
the
of
Spider-Man
course,
movie.
we're all gonna enjoy watching it, no doubt.
Did not
I
care
do
for
think
it.
that it was dumb that Doctor Strange would cast a spell to make the entire world forget something just to
Will
help
he
Peter
never
Parker
learn?
out. I mean, Iron Man was well known who he was. He didn't have huge problems. Why would Peter Parker?
It will be a weird character moment if he's like, after everything they've been through, I like the idea that he's kind of reckless, but it's like, why is he so reckless right here? You know what I mean? Like, that's a little,
Yeah.
it's a little
I
strange.
that
want to
she
see the
should know better.
backstory of why he seems to be going along with this.
Maybe
'cause
it
he
is
even says
Mephisto.
you having these two identities is tearing you apart. It's like, well, then why are you literally breaking time to
Did you see
restore
what you
my
did to
secret
those
identity?
buildings? Were there
Yeah.
people in those things?
Why does everything fold on top of itself when something goes wrong with magic? No matter what we do,
I'm hoping-
something
yeah, I'm
happens,
hoping-
everything folds on top of itself.
I'm really hoping that like something to do with like the break and the branches has to do with the break here, because if it's not the case, it feels like you have WandaVision and Loki and this all have these like multiverse like kind of
They have to
consequences.
tie in together.
just
But they're all
all
not
seem to
tied
happen, but
together
they're
at
not
all. They're
related.
all separate events. I'm like,
But
what?
they all
That's like-
must tie together in the end.
Yeah.
And probably in Doctor Strange's movie, they'll explain. Like,
well, that's called multiverse of yeah. So,
yeah, right. So,
but I hope it's like ties in that Loki like to the time branches going. Like that would be kind of neat. I think because I like
they'd
that
all be
idea. That
part
there's
of one of
it
no-
those,
can't
like-
be that Peter Parker was just distracting him while he was doing it. That caused all
Yeah, it's
that.
like just saying
Something
the names
bigger
and made
must
them.
have happened.
Yeah, this is a trailer,
You
so you
guys
just
aren't
never
thinking
know.
things through at all here.
I was
That's
actually the way people were talking about, all these reveals. I was expecting to see the other Spider-Man in there.
Or something we didn't already know was going to be in the movie. That's cool. I like all the stuff.
But we knew Alfred
But we
Molina was
knew-
one that was like him and Jamie Foxx are like confirmed to be in it.
Yeah, but I was
yeah.
telling Andrew earlier, if you were not someone that was a big Marvel buff watching YouTube all the time and reading forums, you probably wouldn't have known that was coming. And that would have been a surprise. Like, what? Cool, so I don't hold that against them.
The Green Goblin was a
because
surprise.
most
I didn't
people
know that was
didn't
gonna
know that all those guys are going to be in there,
Right. I mean, the Green
Those
Goblin, those
people
other ones
aren't
were.
also tuned into the idea of a multiverse, so that the significance of it to the average viewer wouldn't be there. They just be like, oh, they
Well,
got
and-
Dr.
and
Octopus
there's
in
a-
this one too.
Well, there's also a question whether the other two Spider-Men are actually gonna be in it, though. I mean, whether it's a
I know.
tiny because
Well,
they
it'd be
could
nice.
also be in it without just being in the suit. If we saw those suits, we'd recognize them and go, "Oh, they." You know what I mean? Like they
It'd
don't.
be nice if they just saved that and didn't put most of that stuff in the trailer.
But it's hilarious because on TikTok, this is like almost like QAnon levels of like conspiracy. All these people like I told you they got the receipts of like this says Mrs. Dunst's assistant, Miss Kirsten Dunst. Like they have all these weird things from the movie set.
Oh, wow.
And one of them they had and they had one that looked like Sally Fields on set, like they were hiding her face, but it looked like I was like, what the? And then
I
but
wish they didn't do
recently
that.
JB Smooth guy, the guy from the other teacher from the Far From Home, he was like on a red carpet for something else, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really excited. Are you excited about Spider-Man?" The guy was asking him, he's like, "Yeah, it's doing great. It's awesome, blah blah." And some guy just kind of like a reporter trick. They go, "So which one of the new Spider-Man were you excited to see together, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield?" And he just answers without hesitation. He's like, "Oh, definitely Tobey." And I was like, "Whoa, hold on! Like, did you just?" So I don't know though, but let's like until they do it. I mean, I could live without it. It doesn't matter because you
feel
could
like
have a
these
storyline
guys-
with just
Yeah,
Just
I
the
feel like I'd
villains are
rather
coming
see
back in.
Daredevil than those guys. Much as I'd love to see those other.
I'd rather see
Spider-Man,
Daredevil too because that would
I'd get
confirm
super
that he's
excited if you just showed me Daredevil
continuing.
in the
that
MCU.
would be better.
Yeah, I would love that.
I feel like
But
these
I'm
dudes
excited.
that are stalking the sets and sneaking around are kind of spoiling it for
You're
everybody.
making it not fun. It's one thing
I mean,
to tear
those are,
apart a trailer
those are
'cause that was
spoilers. That's like literally what they
They
are.
released a trailer, so if you tear that apart,
Well,
then that's fair game. But
and that's
like,
totally
talk to
true.
that, like you said, that's
because
not
this is stuff that comes that's from TikTok, but this stuff's from casually. I don't look up that stuff, but we knew Alfred Molina. If we didn't know that, we'd be way more like, whoa.
But
you know,
that,
surprised
people
by that
only
at
know
all.
that because they're really researching into this. They
Right.
didn't make a big public announcement about that or anything. And then, how much more fun
Well, he's
would
also
it be?
said it a bunch. He's admitted
How
to
much
it.
more fun would
Like,
it be if you didn't know anything, though, and you just saw that? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean,
Now
there's
you
a thing
know
about
everything,
not
you're
watching
like-
trailers.
We're biting
Yeah.
our own foot at this point, though.
A lot of people don't watch trailers.
We've chosen to take part in that ecosystem, like of just constant, like just feedback loop of unnecessarily delving into this stuff. So that's what
It
we're
looks
doing
cool.
right now.
I kind of wish, being an old school kind of Spidey guy, I kind of wish his suit didn't just nano form on him like Iron Man's.
That's my biggest beef with Marvel in general. I'm tired of masks that just show up on your face and magically disappear and all that stuff.
Well, they
like
made that turn a
in
couple
the
years
early
ago.
like Black Panther stuff, when it's a helmet and he takes it off, it's so much cooler.
Yeah,
And then later on, they're like, I made it out of some dibbity doo kind of thing, and now it's just on if you want it on and immediately disappears, and there seems to even be no discernible action or verbal command that makes it do that.
Yeah,
Well, but that was the
activates
coolest. Well, that was the coolest part about all the Iron Man movies too. Like there was a big hunking suit. Even in the third one, where it became a liability, and had to tow it around. Like it's much more of a fun kind of thing. That this is
Yeah, it feels
hard
real.
metal and so yeah.
Like that's
Nanotech's
something
a
fun
weird
in
thing.
Suicide Squad when they're all running around. They're wearing like shorts, but still have their helmet on or something. It makes it
Well,
feel a
somebody
little
made
bit
that
more-
point about the only thing that is Idris Elba's stuff is nanotech in that movie. His guns are that.
Yeah, and
And
his
somebody made the
helmet
point-
does kind of a thing where it
Well,
comes.
Well,
on
they're
or
making the
whatever.
point though that it's kind of. I thought his guns were sort of cool, but like, what if that stuff was just strapped to his body and he's like grabbing parts and like it was actually practical?
Yeah,
that might
would've
have been
neat,
funnier.
You know,
It'd been funnier. Like, oh, this is cool.
more
Like,
impressive too. Just
yeah.
and
So I mean, nanotech's like a Pandora box with these like sci-fi movies. 'cause-
they just overdo it.
It's
You
just
can have,
lazy
like,
shorthand
but-
is what it's become. It's like, well, how does he have this or that? It's just straight up magic.
well, his other normal suit's not like that though. It's just that Iron Spider suit. So his normal suit's just a suit though.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that Iron Spider most of the time. It's interesting that we see it there in the trailer. I'm curious as to what
He's wearing
what
it.
role
What's the
that
big
has.
villains coming out.
because he made that fancy suit all by himself on Far From Home. That's the
Remember
whole
when
point.
Spider-Man actually had like 6 arms for some weird reason?
Yeah,
What was that?
I
That
don't
was
know.
when,
I don't remember what that storyline was. but-
Mobius. That was when he was introduced. He was that guy. He was that Spider-Man then with the 6 arms.
Spider-Man's awesome.
Weird stuff.
But Spider-Man by himself
Morbius,
has a
not
lot
Mobius.
of really
Morbius.
stupid storylines.
My bad.
Well, that happens when you're like the most popular. Like, we got to get more of the Spider-Man now. That's why he has like 2 concurrent, things going all the,
The whole
time.
clone saga and
Like-
everything. Yeah, that's what happened. We were like, how about we have 5 Spider-Mans? It's like, I like Miles Morales. There's another kid who's also Spider-Man. That's fine.
Well,
you
he's
don't
got
have
a
to
book
have
too.
like,
He's already got he's got multiple books probably.
yeah, because Miles Morales is cool, but he's his own thing. He's Spider-Man also, but he's his own thing. When you do this, like, well, there was a clone and now there's 2 Spider-Man. It's like when Riker got stuck in the transporter and there was 2 Rikers. Which they
Like,
actually
of
spooked
all
on.
the crew members to clone.
The latest
Riker.
episode of Lower Decks actually did that, where that happened to like Boimler, just the main guy.
I need to watch this too.
And
We should make more
that's
Datas.
hilarious in the new season
An
because he's
army of
on the
Datas
Titan
would be useful.
and he's terrified all the time because everyone on the Titan is just gung ho, like space adventure, like oh, let's go straight through the wormhole, and he's just screaming in panic the whole time. That's a great show. As a side note, if there's an overlap of Star Trek and Spider-Man fans.
I want to
So-
see the spider. What is it? What is the spider car? What was that thing called? The
Spider-Mobile, where it was
I wanna
just a
see this-
dune buggy.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
spider
now's the
man
time.
painted dune buggy. I
'Cause
mean,
it
if you
was
got a
ridiculous.
multiverse,
that
bring
that
that
was
in.
a fun, ridiculous thing.
They show that at the end in the credits of this Into the Spider-Verse. Remember they show all the spider weird like paraphernalia? They show that
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, is it in there? I can't wait
Yeah.
for the next Spider-Verse movie.
I haven't seen or heard
Yeah.
anything about that. I mean, I know
Well,
it takes
yeah.
a long time to make.
Well,
an
that
animated
movie also,
but
I didn't hear see
great.
anything about that movie until it just came out. You're like, whoa, what is this movie? It's like the best superhero movie ever.
Yeah, it was awesome because the trailer's like, oh, this is cool looking, and then you're
Some
like, no,
people
that's
were
better than
thinking
some of the
that
other ones.
Spider-Man 2099 would appear in this Spider-Man movie somehow. I
That'd be
don't know
fun.
how or why, but
Multiverse,
yeah, multiverse and nanotech.
Lilo Dallas multiverse.
Everything's settled.
Well, you got to think too, though. If they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
showing- if
The
this is supposed
DC
to be-
execs are like that now.
Yeah.
It's just
we
like
want
Warner said,
Fonzie in here.
Multiverse.
I mean, this
Multiverse,
one,
babe.
I have to think they're gonna
Collector
go
had an
more
X-wing.
bananas with this movie because this is like if you watch I was thinking about this. Usually, when you watch these trailers, they're just like, here's some cool stuff, here's some cool lines, here's some cool scenes. This is like, but when you watch like a movie that's made for older audiences, older ladies and gentlemen. There's like I remember that movie, the Help from a few years ago. There's like
Never saw it.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah, we're not.
But I
old,
saw the trailer
so
for. I think I saw it
unlike
because
you.
you watch those.
No,
Those
that's
ones
not
that
an
are
age
geared to-
issue. That it was not. That's not the dividing line with it.
Well, but what I'm saying is those trailers that are made for those older audiences, they like just play the entire movie, like the entire story.
Man, that's old.
But this
school,
one
though.
sort of does that. This one sort of does this. It
Go
plays
watch
like a
trailers
linear.
from like the 40s.
There's a lot of plot. Yeah.
Watch the trailer for like Maltese Falcon or something.
I mean,
they literally
yeah.
tell you the whole story in those
Well,
things.
but I'm saying is usually we don't get that with Marvel movies, but this one is, and this is called a teaser trailer. It's not even supposed to have, but it's showing a lot of plot in a linear way. Like, I just wonder if they're just trying to get everybody established. Like, okay, this is the main.
Or maybe
premise.
there's a lot of stuff in this movie because it looks like
That's
that,
what I
that
mean.
looks like that was 40 minutes into the movie. Like maybe that happens in the first 10 minutes.
It looks
like
crazy.
maybe this movie zooms.
I mean, compared to the other Spider-Man movies, it looks crazy. Like a
Yeah, it's
lot
gonna
of
be fun.
crazy stuff.
I mean, you could imagine them showing up where they are, and then all that stuff starts happening. Like, what is going on? You know, so like it is weird. You see Doctor Strange berating him about this is because you want to leave 2 lives. Like, this is because you did that spell, man. This is not because
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
I
Just
like
back on me.
my
I'm
problem.
the high school kid.
You
You're
agreed
the
with me.
Sorcerer
Don't all
Supreme.
superheroes do this?
There's all kinds of stupid things a kid my age could ask for. Like, remember in the movie where Tony Stark just gave me like that super weapon of mass destruction,
Yeah.
and I almost killed my whole busload of all my friends?
Yeah.
Don't
I am
put
straight
it in
up
my
in high
hands.
school. I haven't even graduated.
So, anyways, this is fun. I'm like,
You
this is
barely
like our
see
new,
Ned in there.
We used
I
to
thought-
used to be
That's because
Star.
he's so little now.
He's little. He's tiny. He's in the
Yeah,
cover
I
stuff.
thought he was supposed to be the Hobgoblin because he's buffed up. But
Well,
maybe
maybe.
they're holding that off for another movie, and they're just going to tease it at this one if he kills the.
I think they got
Goblin or
enough stuff to
something.
deal with in this
Well,
movie.
maybe if Green
Maybe.
Goblin shows up, that'll somehow tie into his origin as Hobgoblin.
Maybe he'll just
That would be
at the end of it, he'll just have one of the bombs in his backpack and he puts
Yeah,
it.
he'll pick up the mask like in the other one and like. You knew this was coming. Peter.
Everybody's like, there's like no James Franco anymore though. We're quite all right not seeing you anymore, James Franco. It's like
I wonder
yeah,
how they're going to salvage
doesn't age
Electro,
well.
because I didn't think he was.
Well, it looks like they do the
Well
first right
done,
snap, but they
man.
make his lightning yellow and not blue, and like from that Amazing Spider-Man.
I
Because in this, it looks.
just throughout almost all of the editorial decisions that went into how you create that character in that movie. In fact, this is from a separate universe altogether. The
Because
only
Jamie
thing that
Foxx can
remains
do it, but they didn't give him enough to do it the first time. So I'm hoping they give him better stuff to work.
Yeah,
with.
he's an Oscar
Don't give him
winner.
a
He can
Batman
do it.
Returns level origin story.
I mean, he can be intense. You know,
I was a nerd with weird hair, and then something happened, and now I'm a supervillain.
just like Carnage. The first time you see him, I'm a weirdo with
Those
weird
movies,
hair.
I
And now
like
I've got
Andrew
normal hair
Garfield.
again.
The hair
I like
thing,
Andrew.
They somehow think that is like a direct line, like super red flag. When you see that weird hair, that guy's probably going to become a super.
That Ronald McDonald hair.
He makes bad choices.
I
Yahoo
agree
Serious.
that
You don't
about
see
Andrew
Yahoo Serious
Garfield,
anymore because he became a full-on super.
What's
Well,
weird?
yeah, I
is
like Andrew. I like Andrew Garfield. I like Emma Stone. I like the people, but it seems like the strategy in those movies, like more stuff. His parents were spy tech, like super geniuses. Like, what is going on?
I
They
think what's
really
even
were
worse
leaning on their own multiverse
is
for
that I
that
don't-
particular.
I don't remember those movies very much. Like
Yeah.
I remember the first 3, and I remember the new ones, but those, like I've seen them, but I couldn't tell you much.
I
about
remember-
what happened in them.
I like
yeah,
the
I
first
remember
one.
it
I liked
liking
the
them
Amazing
okay.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I
I
thought
remember
the
being like,
Lizard. You know,
well,
he's a
I mean,
cool
because
character.
I'm a sucker for any superhero stuff. I remember going, that's okay. But then I called Alex, my daughter. We watched the Tobey Maguire ones, and she liked those. Those are funny. She even thought the third one was funny with dancing.
I think the
like,
third one's entertaining. I don't know why people hate it.
But we got
It's a mess,
20
but it's
minutes
entertaining.
into like,
Yeah.
actually, we got about 40 minutes into like the Amazing Spider-Man. It's like, this is so boring. It's like they don't even have any, like, it's really like a lot of stuff in that movie.
Well, the biggest mistake they made with that particular movie was we'll just start over from origin point. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You can have a brand
Just
new
keep it going.
everything, just don't reach.
We got Martin Sheen now though for Uncle Ben. That's really, I mean, it
he's
is
really
good.
good.
It's
He's-
great.
yeah, and
He's
Sally
great.
Fields, like also good, but not necessary.
Yeah, not necessary.
Wasted
Uncle
a movie
Ben.
because that was a pretty good movie otherwise.
Although I don't like, I never remember. This is just a random thought now. Thinking of Spider-Man 3, how they kind of change his, or like where they make it Tom Hayden Church is the guy that killed Uncle Ben. So it's
Yeah, that
like,
was
well,
goofy.
I was like, that changes his entire, or his whole point is that he has to do
Yeah.
things to protect people, even though when it's not his
Why do you
problem.
need this
because
apocryphal
it's like-
mythology anyway?
yeah,
Like,
it makes it
didn't
his
change
not his
anything.
fault anymore, and it makes it dumb. I'm like, this is okay. Yeah,
Yeah, just so you could
Yeah.
have sort of an emotional moment where he has someone to forgive.
Do people need to know an origin nowadays? I mean,
No.
everyone knows
No.
who Spider-Man is, but even if you didn't, you'd pick up pretty quick that he shoots webs and he can stick to things, and
That's why Civil
that's all
War
you
got
need
it
to
right.
know.
They're like, instead of retelling any of this, there's like a 2-minute scene in Civil War where he's like, I saw some YouTube of you jumping around in a weird suit. And he's like, yeah, I've
And he
got
says,
spider
yeah.
powers. Like, all right.
Well, he says I've had him for
Fair
5
enough.
months, and he's like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like,
to
"Because
go.
you let bad things happen." And he kind of pauses.
He
and
has
he's
like a great mission statement.
yeah, and you go, "Oh yeah." So you just want to. You can tell he starts to break down. You're like, "I get it. That's all there."
Instead
Somebody
of just
died. Uncle
staring
Ben
off this
died.
guy like, well, when my Uncle Ben died, it's like, okay, all right.
yada
How
yada
is
yada
that?
yada. Come on, let's go.
Every time. Save it for the ladies.
I've got places to go.
For real.
So
Just say
anyways,
Spider-Man.
you've got spider powers and you can invent stuff.
I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a long couple months. And hopefully, we can
Well,
go to the
who knows?
theater when it
Who
comes
knows,
out.
world? If you
It's up
if
to
you
you,
get your
world.
act together,
It's up to
I
you.
should be in the movie
Keep
theater.
saying it. It is up to you. Let us go see Spider-Man in the theater.
please.